So rock wives and salt wives, this is a custom that is associated with the Iron Islanders. A man could have one rock wife, only one, and this was the highest status of wife. They are classed as true brides and they have to be Ironborn themselves. Then you've got what are called salt wives, and this lady right here, it looks like she's being taken off by the Ironborn on one of their raids to become a salt wife. You could have multiple salt wives, and they were always considered as less than the rock wives. Whereas the rock wives were Ironborn, the salt wives were not. They were from other places that the Ironborn would raid, predominantly mainland Westeros. The Ironborn custom is to reave and raid and pillage and take what you want. We do not so are their literal house words. They don't have a lot of resources on the Iron Islands, so in order for their civilization to survive, they've got to go out and take things for themselves and bring them back. And salt wives are seen as part of a man's treasure. According to the Bible, the world of ice and fire, it was young women the reavers prized most, but they would still gather women of all ages who could be cooks and seamstresses. They could do all kinds of jobs, but their main target was pretty young girls, and most ended their days upon the Iron Islands as serving girls, whores, household drudges, or wives to other thralls. But the fairest and strongest and most nubile would be kept as salt wives by their captors. And the more salt wives you had, the more you were viewed as strong and powerful and definitely virile. You're seen as being able to satisfy multiple women. Even the religion of the drowned god got in on this concept of rock and salt wives, because the priests following the drowned god would perform the marriage ceremonies in both instances. But the rock wives always had more status, more power, more agency and control. But the Ironborn men, they think that the idea of a salt wife is a great honour. Victarion Greyjoy says to this bunch of young girls that they've liberated on a ship, he's like, it's okay. You could have ended up in a pleasure garden, but you get to be a salt wife instead. Isn't that great? The girls are all like, what? Now, when it comes to inheritance in the Iron Islands, the trueborn sons of the rock wife come first, but the trueborn sons of the salt wives are not dismissed. Salt sons may even inherit when a man has no trueborn sons by his rock wife. So this custom is deeply ingrained into the Ironborn way of life, and they think it's a good thing. But salt marriage has declined notably on the Iron Islands since the conquest, for Aegon the Dragon made the stealing of women a crime throughout the Seven Kingdoms, at the urging of Queen Rhaenys, it is said. The Conqueror also forbade the Reavers to prey upon his own domains. These prohibitions have only been sporadically enforced under his successors, however, and many Ironborn still yearn to return to what they call the old way.